Hey all, Kurt Sasso here from Two Geeks Talking at Fan Expo Canada 2016. I had to think of the actual name of it. It's a long day. We're joined today by, of course, Jay Fosgitt and Jay as well. I can even angle it in here.
Jay Clark
And Jay Fosgitt.
Yes.
So what brings you guys to Fan Expo Canada, obviously besides selling amazing artwork?
Jay, you want to start since you're local?
I just come to see Jay.
Yeah.
No, Jay lives out in Michigan, so it is nice to get to come and see a friend pop out once in a while because I'm local. But it's just hanging out, talking to all my friends, seeing amazing talent, amazing work. You know, everybody getting to just be themselves and do their thing. You know, love it.
I like to think you interview too, though, right?
I do interview. I do much as podcasting as I can. Gets a little busy from time to time.
For An Elegant Weapon.
An Elegant Weapon.ca podcast. We interview all the local Toronto comic creators and all around the GTA, so check that out. We'll have Fan Expo Extravaganza Party episodes coming next week.
Yeah. And I've had this love affair with Toronto forever, so I started doing this show about 3-4 years ago, consistently. And I've always said this was my favorite show. And this year in particular, it not only became my most successful Fan Expo Toronto, but my most successful convention ever. And I'm just overwhelmed, and I can't wait to come back.
You know, I've seen your work on Instagram. Of course, everyone knows Bodie Troll, and I met you back at Motor City Comic Con way back when. Everyone has one person that kind of inspired them on their path to where they are today. Who was that for you?
Jim Henson.
I was going to say.
Creator of the Muppets. Ever since I was a little kid, everything he did, even though he wasn't a cartoonist, his work has influenced everything I've ever put to paper and other creative ventures. So yeah, he's number one with me.
As far as the podcasting, I gotta say Kevin Smith. You know, it's the basic answer, but he's the one who made us all realize anyone could do it and do it about the things we loved, right? So absolutely, it started by just being a fan of his, listening, and him saying, anybody can do this, and me going, yes, I can.
Yes, you do.
And 5 years later, you know, we're still rolling along. So absolutely.
Very successfully, too.
Doing okay. You know, we have fun.
This guy's a rock star. At certain conventions we do, he's got that iconic look, and people flock to him.
That's what it is. They just can't keep their eyes off my stuff.
Well, you're handsome.
Canadian charm.
Very handsome.
I'm only handsome because you draw me that way.
You came first.
It's hard to segue from that, but I'll try. You know, obviously you're both very successful in your own rights, professionally speaking. Do you consider yourself personally successful?
I have for the longest time. I mean, I felt personally successful when I was able to do nothing but comics, which I've been doing that since 2008. But only in the last, I'd say, 2, maybe 3 years has my notoriety kind of risen because I work on My Little Pony comics. I've been doing stuff for Marvel this year. And prior to that, I just had my creator-owned stuff like Bodie Troll and Dead Duck that they got me some attention, but it helps to have a more recognizable title to help elevate you. So yeah, I've always felt successful since I was full-time, and now I really feel successful, really do. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel super successful. Just, I have a wonderful, supportive wife at home and 2 amazing children who always have my back when wanting to chase these type of dreams, something silly like podcasting, right? But also the things that podcasting has afforded me the chances to do, and especially the people that it's given me the opportunity to meet and become friends with is just, I couldn't possibly have ever dreamed that I'd get to do and meet the people that get to do the things and meet the people that I've met. So yeah, absolutely, I'm thrilled with things. Very happy man.
These conventions really sort of create a family, and that's a term that's thrown around, but I mean, like, I'm best friends with Jay after having met him at these shows, and we have collective friends that we've all become this tight-knit community, and I never predicted that getting in here. It's not even a fringe benefit, it's become the main benefit of being in this industry.
Absolutely.
And anything financial or whatever is so secondary, tertiary.
There's some cons I go to just to see friends. Like, I don't even check who's there. I just know there's a whole bunch of my friends will be there having a good time, and that's a reason alone to drive 4 hours out to Michigan. You know?
Absolutely, so, yeah. I feel the same way coming out here. So
yeah, definitely.
The younger generation are looking to you as inspirational people, and they're becoming inspired themselves. How are they going to inspire the next generation?
They are going to sort of transcend the genre. They're going to go beyond just doing the same old superheroes or the obvious tropes that you find in comics today. They're going to break new ground, because that's what happened. The guys who read the comics in the 80s and came around in the 90s started doing things that weren't done before that. So I can't even predict what these new subgenres of comics are going to be, but I'm going to be reading them. And I am not above being influenced by the generations beneath me. They're teaching me new things all the time, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I think there's been a shift in certain styles, like painting illustration style comics are really getting huge, and I love that.
That's
kind
coming
of thing.
back, yeah.
Like Sean Seal and guys like that, just incredible work. So I think it's going to get really elevated. The art form is just going to become more and more, special.
Absolutely.
But as far as the podcast thing, we do a panel every year at Motor City, how to basically podcasting 101. And we have many friends and shows that now exist purely out of that panel. So it's great to get to pass on the experience, the do's and don'ts, the mistakes you've made, so.
Without naming names, Jay's already inspired at least one pretty important podcaster right now, and I think he would agree. I just don't want to drop names or whatever, because everyone builds their own success, but it's true. I mean, what I do with
He'll be really
podcasting-
sad if I don't. So we'll say hi to Jimmy McKnight and the
Okay.
Ninja Starship podcast.
Yeah.
He's definitely doing his own thing and is on his own level, but I definitely will always consider one of my Padawans from the beginning, sort of thing, to just get it all started. But yeah, he's killing it, and lots of friends. There's a girl, Phoenix, in Chicago, who's a very good friend of mine. She's a very introverted girl. She wasn't, very socially, comfortable. And ever since she started podcasting and I helped her along, she's just opened up like crazy. It's Heroes in Coffee podcast, and it's amazing to see this girl having come out of her shell and just grow so much confidence through it. So yeah, it's awesome to help.
But where can we find, of course, your work, Jay, for everything?
Go to jfosgitt.com. If you go in the links section, I have links to all my social media, and I'm on just about everything. So there's always new updates being made. I have a Jay Fosgitt art fan page on Facebook that Jay here put together that people can view art at. I just started doing a new sketch session that I do on my Facebook page, but then I repost it on the Foscast Facebook page. So.
And Jay, for your any other websites other than the podcast, or?
You might want to check out pointsofinterestpodcast.com. It's Points of Interest Podcast Network, or podcastdetroit.com. Both of the main networks that I'm on. Lots of great shows if you're into podcasting. There's some incredible stuff going on there, so definitely check that out.
Awesome. Well, thanks to the Double J's here for everything, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this, and I'll let you get back to business.
Thanks for talking with us.
Man.